Wow, Paul, what was that?
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Oh. Well, that's nice, wasn't it?
Reference to the constant gardener. And In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, everybody knows it was, guy was trying to say, in the Garden of Eden. Garden, constant gardener, Garden of Eden.
I'm very slow.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'm very slow.
Well, we edit a lot of this stuff out.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, you look wonderful, and I'm told that you're a little bit, you have a problem, was it food poisoning? Is that what it was?
I did last night eat a bad squid.
Ooh. Where did you get the squid?
I got it from a restaurant in Soho. I won't mention names.
No, we need to know the name.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
For the Board of Health, we're going to have the name. And was it, now I've never had the food poisoning, thank God, but it's just horrible, isn't it?
Well, the squid looked okay before I ate it.
Right, well that's what they want you to think.
They want you to think that. It was dressed with olives and lettuce, and it looked very inviting, but a few hours later and overnight, I had some bad times.
Oh, man, and it's the kind of thing when you're just lying on the floor in the bathroom usually, and you're just wanting somebody to come in and kill you. Am I right? Is it that? It's just god-awful.
That was it.
Well, you're quite a trooper to be here today. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here
again. Tremendous.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's your summer?
My summer has been very good.
Fun things?
Well, actually, yes. Last Saturday morning, I did something that I never thought I would do as long as I lived. I went up in a blimp.
Really?
Over Manhattan.
Right over the city.
Over the city.
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
That's tremendous.
Have you done it?
Yes, I have.
Really?
I did it a long time ago.
Yes.
How did you get on the blimp?
Well, I was with my fiancé, who's from Brooklyn, on a boat with his best friend, Ari, who's a Blotsky, who's also from Brooklyn. And I think people from Brooklyn love Brooklyn very much. They want to see Brooklyn from as many vantage points as possible. So we were on the boat looking at Brooklyn, and they were saying, oh, that's the they met in kindergarten, my fiancé and his best friend. And that's the kindergarten where we went. They're pointing things out from the sea,
right.
And a Fuji blimp goes up above, and my fiancé says, let's see if we can get up in this blimp. And he called them up.
Well, no, wait, you can't. It's not like going over to the Port Authority and waiting on a bus. I mean, you just call. Who do you call at Fuji?
I don't know. 1-800 Fuji. I made that up. I don't know, David. I just don't know.
I'm very impressed by your boyfriend being able to figure this out. He gets you, and they get you on the blimp.
Yes, he gets things to happen.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, so we went up in a blimp, which I thought.
Where did you take off from?
Somewhere in Brooklyn. I'm not exactly.
Really? They land the blimp in Brooklyn for you?
Yes. Well, it's somewhere. It's kind of like an army place or something. It's a bit of a wasteland. I'm not sure exactly what's there. No, they use it to train or something.
Yeah.
It's not. That wasn't a. I'm not dissing the army or anything.
Was it the old Navy Yard, the old Brooklyn Navy Yard or something?
David, I wish I knew what it was.
Sorry,
I just don't know.
I had a bad squid last night. So the blimp is right there, and is it an enormous thing? How big is the blimp?
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge helium balloon. I thought underneath was just going to be a little basket or something like a hot air balloon, but it's like being in a jet. You sit inside, you
a little gondola hanging beneath the balloon.
What's sort of stuck on balloon.
That's right.
Yeah, and then you go up and they take out the windows, so you could jump out if you wanted to. I mean, they're big windows. You can stick your head out, and we flew over Coney Island, and Ari Zabotsky and my fiancé got to, call people and wave to them from the blimp. That's it. People from Brooklyn.
They were calling their friends, come out on your front porch.
Yes, see the blimp.
It's us. Here we are in the blimp.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then I got to fly the blimp myself.
The crew came down with food poisoning. And that's you and your fiancé flying the blimp. What was it? What was it like? I'll tell you, when I was in it, despite the fact that they're like 100% safe. I mean, even if they get a puncture, they'll just slowly land, or so they tell you. When you're in them, it seems quite dangerous. Doesn't it, just hanging free like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It felt very dangerous.
What did you maneuver? Did you go up and down and turn and stuff?
I did. Well, at this point, I actually flew over Central Park, which was a little scary because there was suddenly turbulence, because there was air coming up the wind coming up the streets of Manhattan.
Right.
So as we traversed, you know, from west to east, we hit some turbulence. So it was scary.
But there is no better vantage point for this city than from a blimp, is
I
there?
now know that, yes.
And they ought to do something. They ought to give like regular blimp rides. I mean, you can go around the island on a boat, and I guess there's some helicopter tours. But they really ought to. The mayor, what's the mayor's name, Paul?
Michael Bloomberg.
Bloomberg,
Michael
right.
Bloomberg.
He ought to, if he really wants to get people to visit, get a regular blimp thing, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's very
tremendous.
magical.
Yeah, and it's a lovely thing to have done in your lifetime.
It was incredible. I never thought I'd get to do that.
Now tell us about the Constant Gardener.
It's very beautiful.
Yes.
Very beautiful film. It's a thriller.
Filmed in Africa, is that correct?
It
In
was
Kenya?
in Kenya. We filmed in Kenya, Nairobi, and then out in the bush in the north. And
And it was from a book that was originally
John le Carré.
not published in Kenya, banned in Kenya, is that right?
Yes, it was banned in Kenya. In fact, it still is banned in Kenya.
Well, why
because-
was that? What's the sensitivity there?
Because it spoke about a lot of the corruption within the Kenyan government, and so I guess they didn't want the people to be reading about it.
But yet they allowed people to come in and film there, right?
They did allow it. I think it's possibly very good for the the film infrastructure and the economy of the
Right.
country. So they let us come and film there.
How long were you in Kenya?
We were there for 2 months.
And lovely, magical place?
It's so beautiful. The nature is just extraordinary. In the sky, I've never seen anything like it. More stars at night than I've ever seen in my life.
And the government now, am I correct in saying this, that they're working hard to clean up corruption?
They are. There's Moy is obviously no longer the president, and they have a huge department in the government now, which is called the Anti-Corruption Department, and they're trying to sort things out there.
Let's show people a clip of the film, and it opened today. It's called The Constant Gardener. Do you know what the clip is, Rachel?
Yes, it's my character's an activist, and I found out some very serious malpractice amongst the pharmaceutical companies of Europe, and I've gone to a diplomat, Danny Houston's character, to ask for help, and this is what happens.
Okay, The Constant Gardener. Take a look.
There was no official response.
Well, what was there then?
Well, just a personal letter, that's all.
Say?
It's private.
What do you mean it's private? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I sent him an official document. I'm going to have to call Pellegrin and ask him.
No, don't do that, Tessa.
Why?
It's serious.
You know me well enough to know that I'm not going to take no for an answer. Come on.
Tessa, I'm supposed to keep an eye on you.
What?
Report where you are, what you're doing. Trust me, Tessa. This is something that you should not pursue.
Look at how beautiful you are. And this is with food poisoning. It's The Constant Gardener, and it opens today, and people are very excited about the movie, getting a great deal of critical praise and the possibility of nominations for awards and so forth.
It's a beautiful love story.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Great fun to
David.
see you again, Rachel.
Lovely
Thank
to
you for
see
being
you.
here.
Lovely.
Rachel Weisz, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Tom Greason.